So it's spring here in my Florida garden in the urban setting that I live in. Yes, here we are in the city. And here's the thing, we've got so much to harvest. We've already harvested so much food this year already, but we're in just like April, the middle of April, and I have so much I've got to harvest today. So today, if you would like to join me, we're gonna be harvesting bananas and mulberries and cabbage and lettuce and onions and carrots and beets and peppers and tomatoes. I think that's it. Is that enough? I feel like that's enough. That's enough. This is gonna be a lot to do, but join me. I'll talk you through stuff that's happening, and let's go have some fun. So to take us through all this harvesting, some of the things I'm gonna be using today is I've got my gorilla cart because I think I've got a lot of harvest. I've just got some plastic bins and a tray to set stuff down on so I can move my harvest around quickly and easily. And then helping with my harvest, I've got a hatchet type machete. This is our loppers, but I'm gonna be using these for the cabbage. I had to harvest one of them the other day, and they've got a nice woody stem, so these help me get through it. And then I've got a couple pruning shears. All these I'll have linked down below if you want any of it, and it can help you with your harvest. Hopefully you also have giant harvest happening. If not today, someday soon. So cutting down bananas, this feels like a full body exercise every single time. Man, oh man. I mean, the machete makes it easier, but it's still some effort to get like the trunk down, because you do want to cut that down as soon as you're done with that tree part of it. And I think last time I did this, people were like, no, don't throw away the tree. And I was like, I don't throw away. I think you guys just can't see, because I usually, depending on where it falls and how thick the leaves are on each side, the last couple times I've put this on video, they ended up on the back side, so you guys just couldn't see them. But yeah, so the good thing is that I think this is our third bunch of bananas now since the beginning of this year, which, yay, that's really good, right? Because I think we have one in February, one in March, no, one in January, one in February, and now one in April. And I still got 1, 2 hanging up front here, and I think we're gonna have some more start to flower in the next couple months. So this will hopefully last us until those two are ready, and then those two hopefully will get us through until the next round, because we literally just ran out of bananas. Even with all this harvesting of bananas that we've done, we just ran out. So we actually had to go buy bananas around the store for the first time in quite a few months. But you know, that's okay. We're getting better and better at the amount of bananas we have. I'm gonna guess this is about 40 pounds of bananas just based on experience, but all good things. Okay, that was only the first crop, so onward. I think we'll do the hard ones first, the bigger crops. So off to do cabbage next.
Open the door, okay?
Hang on.
All right, I think we got a good one. Look at that.
Nice.
Ah, you know what these weeds are? Ugh, I keep pulling them. And then what I do is I actually, because this bed's gonna become sweet potatoes, I've been throwing them in here. But, oh, look at this mess. Anyone would need some sweet potato starts? Because I've got some. The other day I found a sweet potato weed, and I pulled it, and I was just like, there's a whole potato attached. Ay, ay, ay. Even with putting cardboard down, these suckers have been coming up everywhere. But I keep pulling, and we use some of the sweet potato greens because they're nice little young ones. But yeah, this is one of my spots now that I keep coming to. So what I keep doing is I take all this, and I've just been sticking it kind of here. Some of it I bury a little bit so that it can take off, but I haven't wanted too much in here yet. But soon we'll put more sweet potato starts in here, but I don't actually have to grow any. I just have to walk around and look. Oh, I think I finally got that spot. And then there were a couple of spots in my wildflower garden that just kept coming back, but I think we've gotten most of it out. So our front yard raised vegetable garden is looking super cute. I actually cut the greens off of all these onions so we could make green onion soup, and then realized we had too much. Now some of them come back, but some haven't, and so I'm just gonna harvest probably most of this. I'm actually gonna use the cabbage leaves in both beds to help cover it until I can put my new crop, which you can see I actually started to put some in there and in there. Oh wait, I must have messed up. I guess I was thinking I was doing sweet potatoes in both beds. Not the case. Okay, so we're gonna be doing some onion harvesting today, but you can see, I mean, we got some decent sized bulbs. I'm probably gonna just have to freeze a lot of this because we have so many onions, which is great. This is a great winter experiment. This is my first time getting a lot of onions, so yay. But the cabbages, I actually had to pull that cabbage because it was splitting. And what I have learned is that once they start to split, that's it, that's time. And I'm a little worried because we're gonna be going on vacation soon, and these ones are looking pretty close to ready. And this one looks like it's ready. So I was gonna take this one, that one, maybe that one, I don't know. I'll take a few of these ones and we'll take it inside. And look at this one, it's still going. It's not doing much, but it's going. But overall, they've done pretty well. I mean, there was a little bit of pest activity on the one that I pulled out over here. There wasn't any active pest activity, but there were holes. You could tell something had chomped at it at some point, which is fine. It wasn't really a big deal. I just pulled out leaves off. So we're gonna get this harvested now. So let's do that. Look how pretty that is. I feel like that's really pretty. Oh look, there's another one hiding. It's tiny, but I'll take it. Now the rest of my cabbage, it can go a bit longer, and some of those heads that I just pulled were a lot smaller than the ones that I pulled before. But the real reason is I'm going out of town for a week, and I'm just worried that they're gonna go and they're gonna start bolting on me while I'm out of town. So these ones have a ways more to go. So I took the biggest ones and I basically am bringing them in, and sometimes you just have to do that. But now, speaking of, we need to, no, actually wait to do the lettuce at the end because it gets kind of wilty. It's really hot out. I'm starting to glisten. This isn't just like makeup making me look this good. This is actually the heat and humidity starting to come through. So let's move on to onions and start pulling those ones because, yeah, need to pull those ones too. These were a Georgia soft neck variety, and some of them got attacked by millipedes or some sort of bug. They're still fine, but I'm just gonna pull any that aren't putting out nice new greens. I actually may pull these really close to when I'm leaving for my trip because they'll last just fine, but I want to pull a lot of these little ones that aren't putting out new greens. So the thing with soft necks onions is that what I understand is that once they basically fold over and tip down, like that's kind of it, like you're done. So a lot of these had already done that, which is why I pulled off all the greens, and I wanted to see if they could come back because sometimes they do, which you can see about a quarter, 25% of them did put on new greens, but the vast majority didn't, which is why I'm pulling them now. And it's getting hot. We're kind of getting out of our cold weather crop season, which is cool, that's fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut these greens off so that I can add them to my stores of green onions for green onion soup. Because when I actually harvested this, I had so much that I told Ben, I was like, oh, we'll have enough for a double batch, maybe a triple batch. We had enough for 3 double batches. There were so many. So what I did is I ended up splitting them up into freezer bags. We made some green onion soup, and then I stored the rest of freezer bags. So I'll just add these to my freezer bags, and then we'll get these ones out of the ground since it's getting hot. And we need to get those sweet potatoes going because what, 6 months? Yeah, April. They'll get a sweet potato somewhere right around October, early November, in time for Thanksgiving. So this is my grand garlic harvest. We knew garlic was going to be kind of a challenge here in Florida. It was worth trying, but we got some greens. That's cool. Now I still have garlic in this pot. I am not going to pull it because honestly it looks way happier than what was over here. So whether it bolts or does something else, that's okay. This one has looked happy pretty much the entire time it's growing. Those ones always looked really scraggly and skinny and kind of like ugh. So I'm gonna keep this one going, and then I don't know, it probably didn't do much. Garlic's always kind of from a lot of people, it's kind of challenging here. So I'll just let that one keep going, also because I've got my Everglades tomato growing here, which has been putting out tons of these little ones. Thank you, Bob, so much for these seeds. They are so yummy. My father-in-law the other day, I gave him and my mother-in-law one, and they were like, oh my God, these are the best tomatoes we've ever tasted. So Everglades tomatoes, clear winner. Absolutely grow them in Florida or any other like subtropical hot region. Yeah. So when it comes to our lettuce bed, we tend not to be too precious about getting whole heads. Honestly, it has been way more beneficial for us to do kind of a cut and come again. So we grow romaine, which most people would like to collect as a whole head, and we also grow butter crunch. And both of these have been putting out a lot of pounds for us. We did get some pest activity early on because I didn't thin it, my bad. But you know what I did is I just thinned it and thinned it and thinned it, and then the birds got in here because what was happening is everything was so clumped. None of the predators could really get in here. So once I started opening up spaces for them, then they started getting in. They knocked back those pests pretty fast. It took about a week and a half for the bed to recover. And what I did is I did it kind of in sections. Like I really opened up this side, let them get in. Then I started to open up this side, and like I kind of rotated around. And then now that everything's healthier, what I basically am doing is I just keep rotating around where I harvest every, I think, 4 days right now. And I usually take about 4 to 5 ounces. That seems to be about the right pace for Ben and I for eating lots of salads. So we'll see how long this bed goes. It seems to be very happy with this method. So yay for lettuce. Any of the leaves that I think just look like, nah, not so great, I just throw them back down. They'll decompose right here, and then they'll give a little bit of shade for the soil that I've made bare from harvesting my lettuce. I'm gonna go through here. I grabbed some of the peppers. I'm gonna go through here now and get a lot of the green onions from some of the onion starts that I threw in here. If I'm gonna already process some, might as well process them all. Hi, it is a hot day, and there's a lot of produce here. We're gonna keep going. Pull the whole plant. I just meant to pull bean. Dried beans. I will tell you, harvesting mulberries once the season comes and you've got big trees, this is very time consuming. we just harvest and harvest and harvest and harvest. And it's good. And we're doing some things to make it a lot more efficient for us. But man, you gotta stay on top of these guys. Ooh, these are good. Oh, that's good too. Okay, well I guess it's worth it. Mulberry picking time. Honestly, it's a pretty small harvest today. We're between flushes, so I don't expect to get a ton, but kind of a bummer that we didn't get a ton. So, yeah. All right, I think this is pretty close to being done. Can we just stop and enjoy the jasmine for a moment? Oh, it smells so good right now. I wish you guys could smell this, but it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous right now. We still have so much growing here. Look at this. Okay, so I got basil growing here, some corn. These look like leeks. They've been doing really well. They went to seed. They're falling over, but whatever. Hisei peppers right there. Oh yeah, my hiseis are putting out peppers too. I got beans in here, sunflowers over there. We still have carrots that will come in soonish. The pumpkins, tons of peppers, tomato plants, beans. Still a lot to go. We still got a long way to go through this springtime. Well, that was a really productive middle of spring harvest. I mean, we've got easily 50 pounds of food here between the cabbages, the bananas. I mean, the bananas are gonna be a lot. But we got carrots, onions, green onions, lettuce, peppers, tomatoes, mulberries. I mean, there's so much we were able to harvest, and we're only in the middle of the spring. We are doing awesome this year with the harvest. I am really excited, and I feel a lot better going on vacation that I'm gonna have time to process all of this and get it stored away so we won't be losing out on our springtime crops. And if you want to see how and why I put what and where, go ahead and check out this beginning of the year planning video where I kind of talk through where I was putting stuff and why I was doing it. And YouTube thinks you'll like this. And if you really enjoy videos like this, go ahead and make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to see more of Florida gardening, go ahead and subscribe. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.